It was a regular day. I came home from school and I had no homework, so I decided to play Animal Jam. Now, the Animal Jam screen looked kind of different, the home screen. All of the animals in the picture, they had pitch black eyes with blood streaming down. And they had smiles that looked like they had been stitched up. And there was no mirror statue. No mirror statue. I logged on without being alarmed. It was probably just a glitch. So I went on and I started in Jama Township. But it looked strange. The atmosphere was all dark and gray and foggy, hardly any color. And the music in Jamal Township wasn't his usual happy self. The music was all distorted and slow and sad sounding. I got a little nervous thinking that this was all just a dream, and I tried to wake myself up. No such luck. I don't know what was going on. I went to different places, but no matter where I went, it was always gray and distorted. Then I went to a different world. This time it was different. It was all red and there were screams everywhere. There were no animals in this world. Maybe it's just an empty world, I stuttered to myself. Then I went to a third world. This time it was completely black and white, not a hint of color. And every single of the Jama Township was full. And every single animal was huddled up, looking very timid and nervous, shaking. And some of them were even crying very hard. I didn't know what was going on. So I asked one of the animals what was going on. They said, "Look up there, to the mirror statue." I went to the mirror statue. Instead of being light blue, like the secret color, it was completely blood red, and there was black blood streaming down, and there was no head on Mira. I felt like screaming. I wanted to get off, but I just somehow didn't get off. Sorry for the people in the background. Then I told them to go to a different place if they were so scared there. So we went to the pillow room where we never went. But it was pitch black except for one light. All of the alphas, both major and minor alphas, were being hanged. They had the stitched smiles, pitch black eyes, and blood for tears. I started shivering very, very hardly, and I asked, "Please tell me what's going on, please." None of the other jammers responded in the pillow room. They were too shaken up. They were leaning against the wall, like something was cornering them. Suddenly a figure appeared, slowly and carefully. I knew that the figure was a wolf, but I couldn't make out what was in the shadows. Suddenly, I knew that it was black, red, and white. F-Man. He looked at us. then let out a big sinister grin. His grin had blood streaming down his teeth like he had eaten a pomegranate. And he said, "These alphas are old. There's too many of them." He walked up to Lisa with an even bigger grin, and he said, "You can't be used, Lisa. You're worthless. You know who the real alpha is now." And then he grabbed out a knife and cut off all the alpha's heads. I looked at them in horror. I picked up Amelia's head, the fox alpha. I started crying with terror and sadness because Amelia was my favorite out of all of them. But I loved the others. And now they were all dead thanks to F-Man. He walked up to the jammers who were not alphas and he said, "You know who the ruler is now, you little animals." I could feel the cold breath of F-Man's on my face. And he said, "We'll have to make some more changes around here." Then he suddenly his eyes were glowing and he got a little more spikier and shaggier. His fur was just sticking out. Then he rotated his head all the way around like an owl. My eyes became bigger than golf balls, and I was trying to let out a scream for help. I wanted to get off, so I did. I logged off in terror. Suddenly, I heard a ding at the door. I opened the door and I saw this mail. And there was this piece of paper inside the mail. I turned it over and it said, "You can't be used."